This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat, that far. We keeping a foot on the what? Neeks. We keeping a foot on the what? Neeks. Let's talk about it, man. All right. You see, Kevin Durant is injured. It's okay. He had to do a lot this year with the whole situation with Kyrie Irving and the vaccination, and I understand everyone has their right and everyone has their mindset and everyone has their choice. But you see how with consequences with choices, we all have to deal with it. Even He Knows Everything. Every choice has a fucking consequence, whether it's good or bad. You have to deal with the consequences of your choices for your actions. And this is what Kyrie Irving dealt with. The consequences of the choice for his actions. Because he didn't get vaccinated, now Kevin Durant got injured. Now, are we sitting here and saying that Kyrie Irving should have gotten vaccinated for that reason? No. But if Kyrie Irving got vaccinated, Kevin Durant wouldn't be in this position where he got injured. I'm not saying that Kyrie Irving has to be forced to do anything. Never said that, never will say that. But see, this is where selfless act. This is where putting your teammates first come into play. This is when you're talking about the mission at hand. But people will say, but this is bigger than basketball. But Kyrie Irving is a basketball player. Kyrie Irving has basically signed on the dotted line that he would be willing to step up and show out and deliver the goods for his team. People will be like, well, he's his own man. This is not about Kevin Durant. This could have been avoided. This is basically what I'm saying. Whether you agree or you disagree, I'm not here to force things down people's throat. He Knows Everything is getting you to see that there's no point to argue when a point is right in of itself. Let me say it again. There's no point to argue when a point is right in of itself. If Kyrie Irving did what he was supposed to and didn't miss these 8 months, they could lean off of each other's back throughout the season. They would have built themselves up. They would have engineered greatness upon themselves, and they would have put themselves in proper perspective and in proper position so that the both of them could do what they were going to do on the basketball court. But clearly that's not evident. Clearly that's not something that is happening at this moment, at this juncture, because Kevin Durant is out for 4 to 6 weeks. We're hoping 4 to 6 weeks graciously. But we know from a basketball standpoint, it could be conservatively. This right here is a pivotal time because the Brooklyn Nets are number 2 seeding. And Kyrie Irving can only play road games. He can't play home game. So this came at a time that is not opportune. And He Knows Everything wouldn't be the cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat true telefashion artist if he didn't tell you this. It's not an opportune moment. It's not an opportune time. This is why when we make decisions, we have to deal with the consequences of our decisions. And Kyrie Irving, I'm not telling him he should have forced himself to get a vaccine. If you don't feel that you need to get the vaccine, you don't feel you need to get it. But see, shit like this is what happens. Now we got to deal with a precarious situation where Kyrie Irving is only going to be available for road games. Kevin Durant's not going to be there. And now we're leaning everything on James Harden. This should be James Harden's moment because it's regular season. But let's be honest, James Harden has not been playing anywhere near the levels of what we expect a James Harden to play, even from an OKC days. I'm not talking about Houston Rockets days because he would be completely out of sync. But he's not even playing at his OKC level. He's actually been struggling this year. Now, this would mean that James Harden would need to step up. This would mean that this gives him the opportunity to enact some of heavyweight lifting and heavyweight lifting the notion on his part, because the regular season he thrives in this. This is his basketball. This right here is, there's 3 basketball players. Regular season is their basketball. That's James Harden, LeBron James, and Stephen Curry. That's just all they know. They know regular season basketball. They don't know nothing about playoffs. They don't know nothing about NBA Finals basketball. They don't know nothing about where legends are made. They don't know anything about where Pantheon of Greatness is denoted. But regular season, which it is what it is just basketball of law of attrition to get you to where legends are made, i.e. NBA playoffs, to get you where the NBA Pantheon of Greatness is denoted, i.e. NBA Finals. It has to happen nevertheless. You got to go through it. It's like conditioning. When you condition your body, you just got to go through it. You just got to go through it. But see, the regular season has the ebbs and the flows, the peaks and the valleys, the trials and the tribulations, and the ups and the downs of the fact that there's just a lot of games. So it creates wear and tear. And knowing that Kevin Durant had an Achilles heel injury, and knowing that there was compilation of issues that was associated behind it, this is why I was very critical of Kyrie Irving for things like this. Because at the end of the day, we could sit here and say Kyrie Irving as the man and Kyrie Irving as that. He's a basketball player first before he is anything else. That's his occupation. And when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about in respects of what he does. His passion. What makes him him, what makes him successful is playing basketball. So basketball is his purpose. And last time I checked, don't nothing come before your damn purpose. Let me say it again. Basketball is his purpose. This is what he's known for. This is the legacy he's carved out. Nothing comes before your purpose. So if your purpose should be your number one, then everything that you do within that purpose should be number one. See, this is what I was talking about when I said Kyrie Irving had his priorities mixed up. And because he had his priorities mixed up, and thinking that he was doing something that was a secondary thing, that was looking and giving the illusion as if it was the number one thing, we find ourselves in this precarious situation where Kevin Durant is hurt. This could have been avoided. This could have not happened. But it happened. And here we are. So now, we can't look back. Always forward, never backwards. I just wanted to point the reality check of how this could have been avoided. But it's not. It hasn't been avoided. So it is what it is. So moving forward, we're hoping that Kevin Durant can bounce back, and we're hoping that the Brooklyn Nets are in a different position. Because when it's all said and done, Kevin Durant is the most important cog. He's the most important reasoning, and he is the most important identity for the Brooklyn Nets. If he's not there, the Brooklyn Nets are not even doing what they did this year. And don't get me started on Giannis Antetokounmpo being number one MVP when the Bucks are number 5 and the Nets are number 2. How the fuck did that happen? You see where I'm going with this? You see the precarious situation that they like to do? You see how they like to be against Mr. Anti-LeBron? And they like to prop up Giannis Antetokounmpo? And they like to pop up anybody that's not Kevin Durant? You see the hatred they have for Mr. Do Me and I Chill, the 50-40-90 Walking Gazelle, the Slim Reaper iteration? It's hatred nevertheless, because they have to hate on greatness personification. But what have we said about greatness personification? Greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. So when it's all said and done, he knows everything's concerned, but he's not going to sit there and let this be the end all be all in his mindset. Because he has the ultimate faith that when it's all said and done, that the man above is not giving us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, love, and of a sound mind, that the Brooklyn Nets will figure this out. So even having a grain of the size of a seed, of a mustard seed of faith, they will prevail. But this could have been avoided, man. This shit could have been avoided. So he knows everything's not happy, and he's pointing it out. Because at the end of the day, we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be realistic with ourselves. And that's the realistic viewpoint of a He Knows Everything in this situation. But at the end of the day, he's going to have faith. The Brooklyn Nets will figure this out. They've been playing long enough together. Kyrie Irving's just going to have to do what he's going to have to do. Every road game, win. If Kyrie Irving wants to gain He Knows Everything's respect, every time he steps on that basketball court, every road game, win. You can't have no else. This is the only way you're going to, in He Knows Everything's mind, you're going to reciprocate and basically validate this whole 8 months you took off. Because now Kevin Durant is going to be expected upon you to step up, be that guy, and deliver the damn goods. James Harden, you're going to have to play your ass out. And the team is going to have to do what the team is going to have to do when Kyrie Irving is not there. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat truth teller fashion. This is the cards they've been dealt. Figure this shit out. I keeps the foot on the whoop. Oh, geeks. I keeps the foot on the whoop. Oh, geeks. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.